now streaming.
I'm waiting. So we're live. Oh, we're live on YouTube?
Mm-hmm. It has like a huge Zoom logo on the bottom.
Does it? I'm looking right now. So then I'm going to start. Okay, there we go. Welcome, everybody, to Just Mitchin. I'm Mitchin, the one and only, and we have Abe. Abe is back. What is going on, brother?
I am back. It's been a long time. Not much, just chilling out here in Pennsylvania.
People probably thought you quit the show. They're like, yeah, I can't deal with that crazy bastard anymore, so I'm leaving.
It's been crazy. Moving is not easy, man. Like there's just so much shit everywhere. Like you don't know where any of your stuff is. It's just a hassle. And
well, at least you went from a 1-bedroom apartment to what are you in now? Like a townhouse?
It's a 2-bedroom, and I wish I could show you, but now I can't unplug my stuff. But my kitchen and living room alone is bigger than like my entire apartment from before.
Your old apartment was small.
And it's cheaper.
And you don't have to worry about any city crime because you live in a suburb.
Yeah, I live close to a place that's very run down, and if I walk 10 minutes ish over there, it's not great. You can definitely tell it's a little sketchy, but where I live, it's a bunch of new stuff being built and
I just noticed I was looking like this because I thought that might help me look around my dock.
Yeah.
On the computer. But gosh, we got a lot to cover coming up. I mean, right now we're in the middle of the MLB playoffs start tomorrow. NBA. When do the NBA? We have the NBA finals coming up.
They're coming up. I don't know what date, but they're
probably
coming
tomorrow or Wednesday. Can talk some NFL football, recap the weekend, and then talk about why your fantasy football team is crap. So if anybody doesn't know, Abe's team's gonna go 0-3 this week. I'm 2-1. I should be 3-0. But for some reason my team fell apart. Let's get into this Hobby Hero thing. What are we doing, Abe, with Hobby Hero?
Yeah, so this is gonna be super fun. So we're gonna have a bunch of our followers or our friends, as I like to call them. They will we'll just have them nominate someone that they think deserves to be recognized for what they do and for the hobby and the people in the hobby. We'll pick one person every week from the nominations. You can nominate someone every week unless they win.
Right. No, exactly.
And then at the end of 3 months, we'll collect all the winners at the 3 months, and then they will win
a swing for the
something
fence.
Something
like this. A swing for the fence.
We'll let you pick. Whoever wins, you can pick.
We'll let you pick. If you want the wine glass, if you want a shot knob, anything. Yeah. Dugout Mug is a great company. They've already done a lot for us, helping us out with figuring out this whole podcast, little things like that. It's a great beverage thing. That's cool. And next week we'll be interviewing the owner. We'll be talking to Randall Thompson. So that'll be fun.
Super cool. They also have the autographs. Have you seen those?
They'll have ones that are signed, the auto on the signed in marker, and then they have their signature series that they'll have what's the one I saw was Lonzo Kane, and so then it was just his signature engraved into that, which I think is pretty cool.
Oh, that's
then
cool.
You don't have to worry about effing up the signature. You still gotta drink it and stuff. I drink out of I use my dugout mug. I like it. It's 12 ounces. When it's a cold beverage, you can feel it throughout the wood. You clean it just like a normal mug. Not you don't put it in the dishwasher because of the wood and stuff, but I think it's a great company. I like that they give away a lot of stuff. They give back. They're very active on Twitter. I mean, that's kind of how we started, just talking to them. Yeah, I don't use Facebook. Not a Mark Zuckerberg fan. I don't know who owns Twitter, so I like
Jack Dorsey.
Hey, Jack Dorsey, hit me up, bro. And then we talked about our schedule. New being live was going to be Monday, Wednesday, Friday, but we are dumb over here at Just Mitchin and forgot about Monday Night Football, and I can't compete with that. I don't know if you can compete with that.
I can try, but I will definitely not succeed.
So next week we will be, and this will be the consistent schedule, not changing. It will be Tuesday at 7 p.m. Pacific. Thursday will be our special interview. That's not going away. We're going to keep that. That won't be live. It'll be pre-recorded, but it'll still be the same awesome personalities. And then Friday, leading into, college football, NFL weekend, covering all of that good stuff at 7 p.m. So, always join us. Come in. I can't see the chat, but Abe can. So if you ask any questions, we'll definitely answer them. We'll be active with that. But yeah, we're just going to be talking sports. It's going to be like any other sports show, nothing different. Just kind of two idiots talking like what we care about and messing things up and whatever happens on this show. I mean, if you watched us so far, you kind of know what we're about and how we go about things. If not, join us for the ride. We're brand new in this and we're just having fun.
Yep. And it'll be fun to do these live ones too, because we can't go back and edit stuff out, and that's the fun of it.
No, I think exactly. That's why I wanted to go live. It gave more of that genuine experience of like almost being on the radio or being like on a TV show where like you only have one shot at it. Like if you mess up your stats, someone's going to call you out. Thank you to Mike Farron. He really showed us how to do a radio or podcast outline. It helped us out greatly because our first couple ones they're brutal.
Not as detailed.
Yeah, now it's pretty detailed. But let's jump into these MLB playoffs, my man.
Let's do it.
I know you haven't watched too much baseball. I know you've been busy with the move and everything, but you've been following along. This new playoff format, it's going to be interesting. And I think they're talking about bringing it over not just COVID baseball, but we had 60 games, and then now it's going to be 16 teams, 8 in each league. And then instead of just one wild card game in each league, it's 8 wild card games, which that's exciting. It's 3-game series, but it's at the home team stadium. So it's definitely giving somebody an advantage, especially if it's a team like New York is going to have to go to Cleveland. They haven't played in the Central time yet. Like that's definitely weird. Or the White Sox are going to have to go to the A's. Like the time zones now are different than you've been in the same time zone the entire time, basically. That'll be fun to watch, and then the rest of it's just going to be the same thing, but in a bubble format. So the NLDS is going to be so National League games are going to be played in Texas and Houston. So it's kind of like they're doing this weird switch. So like LA is going to be playing their games in either Globe Life Park or Minute Maid Park.
Yep.
But the Dodger Stadium is going to be hosting games. Yeah. Like there's no home field advantage, which I think that's fair. That'd be pretty crappy if only one team got a home field advantage even throughout the playoffs. And I saw that they're going to try to start allowing fans in, like with the wild card games, home teams' families are allowed to come to the games, which that's cool that it's starting to trickle in. I definitely miss the fan experience with watching it on TV. I mean, the cardboard cutouts are cool, like going off topic, but do you see what the Denver Broncos did?
No, I did not.
All of South Park, baby.
Oh, really?
Yeah, all of South Park. Like that's every character, they had the whole entire town of South Park out there. And I thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah.
But
I was a big fan. So let's talk about the baseball first, and I'll go back to that. I think the 16 teams and just this expanded format is good because this is baseball. You never know what's going to happen, and I think so. I know there's some people that disagree with this because you do so well in the regular season, and even through the regular seasons teams lose series just because they're off their game one week or another, and that could happen in the playoffs, and maybe we don't want that, but I'm a fan of this. Like I want that to happen. Like I want the
upsets,
underdog and to win, and even if it's just a like a hot streak, like it's fun to watch. It's fun baseball.
So I'm a fan if they extend the playoffs, maybe not to the 16 team format, I definitely like the 3 games wild card instead of that one game where we have no idea what's going to happen. I mean, that's exciting, but a 3-game series it's pretty fun because anybody can win a 3-game series. Like you just said, it happens in the season all the time. I mean, the last place Mariners can beat the first place the A's in a series. Like it happens. They've done it this year.
Yeah.
The Mariners weren't actually last place. I think they almost made the playoffs, but once again, we're going on 20 years of no playoff baseball in Seattle. It's going to be beautiful. I'm excited.
They were good though. They were good though this year. So
they were good.
I think have a chance next year.
It's young talent. It's definitely that young talent to come along. Some of the pitchers they have, like Kikuchi, Sheffield. I think Sheffield's coming along, could be a good 2 or 3. I think Kikuchi, this whole thing, he might just need to go somewhere else or go back to Japan. I didn't think he was going to be this big project. I thought he was going to be like ready to come along.
Polished.
Kind of like, polished. And
he's
still throwing this 93-mile-an-hour cutter. Like, get rid of it. You're hitting 96, 97-mile-an-hour fastball. Throw that with your slider, and you're good. But then use this fucking shitty cop-out pitch. Excuse my language. Cop-out pitch. I'm going to have to get better at that. Cop-out pitch, and you screw yourself. I'm not a fan of it at all. But anyways, what do you think about the bubble? Do you like it? Do you dislike it? Like, I'm kind of torn about it.
I don't have an opinion about if I like it or not. I think it's necessary.
Okay, even though they've been traveling all over their region.
Yeah, see, I think even if they've been traveling, it's still nice to like have the bubble there when they're not traveling.
Okay.
Right, like it reduces travel by a lot. If there's 3 locations that they're traveling between, is it 2 or 3?
It's 2. So it's gonna be Dodger Stadium and Petco Park.
Yeah.
So if it's San Diego and LA, and then it's gonna be Arlington and Houston. So it's not even that much travel if they travel, because I mean,
right, exactly. So like even if they do travel, like they're still contained. Like the traveling, like how far they travel is still contained within a certain amount of like distance or like areas.
And they've done pretty well. I mean, they've had some issues with it, like the Cardinals, for instance, or Miami, which somehow both those teams make the playoffs, and they missed multiple games and to play all these doubleheaders, which blows my mind, actually. Well, I mean, it's not with the Cardinals, more with the Marlins. I wasn't expecting the Marlins to come out and decide to play real baseball, because they've been a pretty pathetic organization probably over the last 10 years. I mean, most of their existence. Shot at Marlin fans. Oh shit, they're gonna hate us. So anyways, we're gonna do some predictions for these wild card games, and then once the division series comes on, we'll predict those, and then we'll do another prediction when it comes into the championship series, and then we'll predict the World Series, and probably be wrong on all these. We're not experts. Like we make this stuff up as we go. There we go. Nice tick. All right, so the first one I'm looking at is Blue Jays Rays. Who you got?
I got the Rays.
Really?
They've got a good rotation. You got pitchers pitching deep into the game. I mean, they're the number 1 seed. You can't go wrong.
Yeah, I know. I'm going with the Rays too. I mean, especially if it's going to be a 3-game series. You got Snell, Morton, and Yarbrough. I think that's who they are going to have pitch one of those games. That's a good rotation. You don't have to deal with that. Their bullpen's very deep. Their bench is deep. I can't think of really a bad bat in that lineup. The fun thing is the Blue Jays might be able to upset them. I mean, their pitching's not great besides Hyun-Jin Ryu. Their lineup is very, very fun to watch. I mean, Bo Bichette's fun. Vlad Guerrero's fun. Calvin Biggio's fun. Teoscar Hernandez is fun. Like, they definitely have that up and comingness, but I feel like they're a year or two out of really being able to run make a good deep run in the playoffs. But once again, the Blue Jays and the Rays they've played each other a few times. So like these teams, this is going to be an interesting matchup, because it's actually 2 teams that really know each other pretty well. And you're going to see that a few times in this wild card. But it's 3 games in Tampa Bay. I mean, anything can happen. I'm definitely going to go Rays. I like the pitching too much. I like the bullpen too much. Heading over to
Yankees and Cleveland.
No, it's Astros and Twins.
Okay, let's go.
You read down.
I'm gonna pick the Astros. The Twins, just because I'm not gonna pick the Astros.
Yeah, you hear all that banging going on?
Yeah.
That's I don't vote. I don't like cheating. I'll never be an Astros fan. So yeah, I'm going with the Twins. The Twins had the big bats. I mean, Nelson Cruz, Josh Donaldson. They're gonna hit home runs and they're gonna hit bombs. The thing with the Twins is, can the Twins get past the Yankees if they meet them? It always seems like the Yankees like to beat the Twins in the playoffs.
Yeah, we got to support our boy.
Yeah, we got to support our boy Lane Adams, even though he's not on the roster. Lane is back home in Oklahoma. I was talking to him today.
Still got to support the boy.
Got to support our boy, our only professional baseball player on the podcast. We have a friend of the pod. That's very cool. We'll have to get Lane back. That was a fun interview.
Recurring guest.
I mean, we do have Lane. We do have some Lane predictions in the NBA Finals. We'll be getting into that and talking about my story of telling him how much I don't like LeBron James. Going on, so then we have A's Twins. We both took the Twins. Then we have the White Sox A's. This is an interesting one for me because the White Sox have been so streaky good, and they are probably the most fun team to watch in all of baseball because you have so much personality and so much talent.
Yep.
I mean, you got Robert, you got Moncada, and people forget you don't have Tim Anderson who could win a batting title again.
Eloy is pretty good.
Yeah, and Eloy's sitting out there. I mean,
I think for them to win this series, Luis Robert has to pick it up. He's been, he's good. He's got the talent, and he started off hot. But I think, I looked it up a few weeks ago. He was hitting 237 at this point, something like that.
He definitely went through that rookie phase. I think Kyle Lewis hit it. They both did it. The big thing that I think is going to be an issue with the Sox is the A's bullpen is really deep. That's definitely their strength. But the big thing is the A's don't have Matt Chapman right now at all. You just saw that hand off. It's Diet Coke, everybody. So that's the fun things you're going to see on live shows that you never know. I mean, I haven't ate dinner yet, so somebody's handing me a Diet Coke. I won't eat. I promise. You don't have to watch me eat. That's disgusting. But Matt Chapman being hurt, not playing. I mean, he's a Gold Glover. He's an all-star. I think that's going to hurt them. But I don't know I watched a lot of the A's. That A's team comes out of nowhere. They don't really. I mean, they don't have a lot of star talent like the White Sox have. I think the White Sox will be a team that, if there's going to be an upset, I think the White Sox could be the team that do it. I'm going A's. I've watched a lot of A's. They're pitching consistent. That bullpen's, once you start getting into that bullpen, which we see a lot of that in the playoff baseball, that tends to see what we're going into. So I'm going A's.
I will have to. I can't make this pick yet. I'm a little biased. Because
just make the pick. Don't be like.
Let me say this. Like you said, the Sox are streaky good. If they win the first game, I think they will win the series. It's only 3 games.
So he's taking White Sox in this series.
Yeah, I'll take the Sox.
Perfect. We disagree. Agree to disagree. Now we're going into that one you wanted to jump to. This is interesting. It's a 5-4 matchup. You got the Yankees and you got the Indians. I don't even have to think about this. It's the Yankees. Those bats right now, Luke Voit, anything they hit, it's gone. They hit 19 home runs in 2 games? Yep. 3 games or something like that. They set a record. These bats on this team is ridiculous, and it's coming together. The pitching's finally coming together. The bullpen's strong. I take the Yankees hands down.
Yeah.
I just don't think Cleveland has it with the bats, but Bieber and Plesac could come out and completely eat the Yankees apart. So that's the one thing.
That's the same, but you could say the same thing, right? Like Garrett Cole and Tanaka on the other side. It's only 3 games.
And then
if they win the first 2 games,
probably pitch the third one.
Yeah, if it goes to a third.
Yeah, if they go, I think they sweep them. I really think they will sweep them into.
It's so weird to say, the 3 game, it really makes a difference. It's not a 7-game series where you can lose the first 2 games and then come back and.
Well, I think the Yankees are going to make a deep run in this postseason again. They have the talent. The one thing, and they both have postseason experience. I mean, the Indians have postseason experience. They've been to a World Series not too long ago. It just seems like every year the Yankees are so close to building that dynasty, and then they just they don't make it. Now we're getting into the National League. It's funny because this is a lot of National League Central with a lot of National League East, and then some West teams. You got the first matchup is number 7. Well, we got 7. The Reds at seed 7 and the Braves at seed 2. That's an interesting one. Like I keep saying, they're all interesting. That's an interesting one. I think every matchup is interesting because it's something we've never seen before. We've never had a 3-game wild card.
No.
I would definitely. I am going. I'd go Reds. I like the Reds, and I'm definitely taking an upset here. I like the young pitching the Reds have. Their bullpen's going to be their biggest issue, but they've got some bats that can go off. I mean, the Braves do too, but the Braves in the playoffs are the Braves are too up and down for me. I'm going Reds, and I'm not going to explain why.
I like Trevor Bauer a lot.
I want to get him on the show one day.
I just like Trevor Bauer, and that's literally I just have to pick the Reds.
Perfect.
Just fully based on that.
Marlins, Cubs. They have this Marlins team is just too young. Like they're there, and they're like that team that nobody expected to make the playoffs. They're supposed to be the last in the East. I think every expert took the Marlins being last, especially once they hit COVID. But I know you hate it, but the Cubs are the solid pick.
I know I do hate it, but it's not even like I can't argue it.
Rizzo,
I can't argue it. Yeah.
They have those postseason pitcher. Yeah, every one of their pitchers has pitched in the postseason. I mean, they're good. This is going to be a fun matchup. I don't know who you're going to pick. Cardinals, Padres. Who you got, brother?
I mean, if I'm giving into my bias, I have to pick the Cardinals. I'm a Cardinals fan, so I have to pick. But man, the Padres are not bad. And realistically, if I'm saying it from an objective point of view, I think the Padres are going to win this series.
I think so too. I think the Padres are ready to make a deep run. They have Fernando Tatis is out of this world. I think in the next 10 years, he's going to be the face. He's the face. I mean, the guy's so cool. Like I've said it before. I mean, he's got the frosted tips. He's got the braids in his hair. He's got the dreads. He wears the pink band. I mean, he's got swag. I take Padres. Brewers, Dodgers. My dad's going to hate me, but I'm going the Dodgers. I think this is the World Series winner. Yep. The Dodgers they're the deepest team, and they're so deep. They have so much talent. I mean, they have multiple guys who could win an MVP this year. Mookie Betts is playing out of his mind.
Yeah. Mookie Betts is.
I think Bellinger comes along. I mean, his bat's been a little slow. I think he comes along. The big question for them is Clayton Kershaw going to be able to pitch in the playoffs? He's notoriously not great in the playoffs, so we'll see about that. But that wraps up baseball. Now we're going to hit the NBA Finals. LeBron's hit his 10th final appearance. Can you believe it's been that many already?
It's crazy because I was just thinking about, so the last time I was the Heat were in the finals. Yep. It was the Heat Spurs, I believe. 2014?
14.
No, wait.
15? 14?
2012. No?
No, 13's when they won. I can't remember. Now you're just like making up freaking years. He's like, I don't know. Do you have a computer in front of you? How about you look it up? You're supposed to be the tech guy. I'm just the one who runs my mouth.
Let's see.
What am I supposed to do with them, people? Like, this is day one of going live, and he's like just throwing out random numbers and trying to guess stuff. LeBron has 10 finals. He's won 3. He's lost 6. He's going to lose number 7. That is my hot take.
So, you
were right the first time.
Yeah, I was right. So I was traveling that year. I was in Nepal, and I was watching this series. Like literally, I would wake up at like 3 a.m. to watch that finals series. I watched it, and it's crazy that every year I think back to this, and I'm like, LeBron's in the final again. Like, why?
Well, you went 9 in a row. Like,
yeah, it's insane.
But he's
and like
lost 6. He's only won 3 times. Like that's where I mean, when Ken Carl and I talked, like we talked about FU guys. LeBron's not an FU guy. But this man, Jimmy Butler, is an FU guy. He does not like to lose. I think he's finally found an organization that respects his talent.
Yep.
I think he didn't find that in Minnesota. He didn't find that in Philadelphia, and the Bulls didn't know what to do with him.
See, I like Jimmy Butler because he was on the Bulls. Like, as much as I hate being a Bulls fan, like this year, maybe this coming year, they might be a little better. But like the year that we had Jimmy Butler, we let him go for nothing.
Well, you let him go, and I mean the Bulls ever since Jordan left it's been injuries, stupid stuff happens. I mean, Derrick Rose should have been a beast. I mean, he's still kind of a beast. He just can't play that many minutes, and he doesn't have it.
And like, think about that. Like, he's that good now with this injury and all the shit he's gone through, and he's like, if he hadn't gotten injured, how crazy. I don't know if everybody else knows. I don't even know if you know. So I went to school in Chicago before I went to Iowa State.
Oh, okay.
And Derrick Rose got his surgery. So I went to UIC, and he got his surgery at Rush, which is like 20 minutes walking, bus ride, like 3 stops, something like that. So I was walking through the gym one day, and it was like,
couldn't pay me to get on a bus.
It's not bad around the campus. It's not bad. So then, so I worked at like the recreation facilities. So I had I could get in anywhere. So I would go in, I was walking through, and Derrick Rose was there like rehabbing.
Stud.
Insane story, right?
Insane story. He was so good. He was so good. So who do you have in this series?
I am inclined to pick the Heat, but man, like the only thing is Anthony Davis needs to be stopped.
I mean that's gonna be like one of the matchups to watch is Anthony Davis and Bam.
Yeah.
I think Bam can stop him. The interesting thing for me is Dwight Howard gonna he's been to the finals. He knows this pressure. I think the one thing that the Heat are lacking is the depth.
Dwight Howard will let you down.
I'm good for that. I wanted to let me down. I'm a Blazers fan. I've been part of this I-5 rivalry for a long time. I do not like the Lakers. I respect some of the players that have played for the Lakers. I'm not a fan of LeBron. I will say that till I'm blue in my face. I want him to lose 7. Then I can be like, Jordan won 6, never lost. LeBron's literally been to 10 and can't even get an even number. He can't be 5-5. It'd be he'd have to be 6-6. So he'd be 4-6. That's a losing record.
Yeah. I mean, see, you can't. The thing with LeBron is, I think this has been mentioned before, is that he has to work so hard to get to the finals. By the time he's there, he's just worn out. You play a lot of games. Playoffs isn't a joke. It's not.
I think this year they had that big rest, so he's basically playing a second season.
Yeah.
But if you look
he's got a decent team. You have Kyle Kuzma coming off the bench. Kyle Kuzma would be a starter anywhere.
He's so pretty.
What?
I saw that one time, in a TikTok or something. They're talking about how Kyle Kuzma was one of the prettiest players in the NBA. I thought it was so funny. So I always say he's pretty. But if you look at this, James and Davis, what they're averaging right now is 55.5 points per game combined on 65.1% of true shooting, 19.6 rebounds, 12.5 assists, and 4.8 combined blocks and steals in the playoffs. That's gnarly.
Insane.
I mean, you're guaranteed one of them is going to go off. If both of them go off, the Heat have a handful. I mean, the Lakers are outscoring opponents by 15 points per 100 per possessions. But also, if you look over at the Heat are getting 4.5 to 100 possessions in the playoff. So, I mean, it's I mean, the Lakers are going to be have the better team, but with the Heat, if they get on that 3-point, they start throwing those 3-ups. Tyler Hero starts going crazy, starts going nuts, starts going mad. I mean, the Heat are 8-0 and shooting better than 37% from the line.
They're good.
8-1 when they're making 13 or more threes.
When even
Heat
like
6, Heat in 7, Heat in 7. I'll go Heat in 7.
I'll take Heat in 6.
And then our boy, Lane Adams. Oh, go.
Yeah, even with it's not just Jimmy, Bam, Tyler Hero. Like Duncan Robinson has had a solid playoff run.
Yeah.
Like he's came out of nowhere. Like we knew he was good, but he there were some games like he was good. Like this is the Duncan Robinson I want to see all the time. And obviously like players like Kendrick Nunn, okay player. Did you know how old Kendrick Nunn is? He's like 25.
Do you see how much his rookie prism goes for?
No.
It's like $100 card.
Kendrick Nunn?
Yeah, his silver prism or something like that. I think I saw it.
The silvers are always.
Yeah, I saw like a silver prism going for nuts, and I was like, yeah, I'm like, he's not even good.
Nah, he's not great, but like everybody thought he was going to be good. That's what the card prices are based on. But like he's not bad, but like he's averages like 10 points, 10 points or something like that.
Oh, 25. That's so old in the NBA. Right. As a rookie, did he get hurt?
I have no idea. I have no idea. But
that's nuts.
Yeah, this will be interesting to watch. It'll be really fun to watch. I mean, I just hope that it goes to at least 6 games, 7 games.
I think it'll go 6-7. Our boy Lane Adams, friend of the pod. Lane says Lakers in 6. He's a big LeBron guy. He was we were talking. I was running my mouth like normal on the Twitter, and I've been talking a lot of shit about LeBron, and he's telling me LeBron's gonna go. He says the only way the Heat win is a Tyler Hero goes off. He said that his MVP is either LeBron, Tyler Hero. I really think my MVP, if the Heat win, I think it'll be Jimmy Butler. My MVP, if the Lakers win, Anthony Davis.
I think MVP. I don't think Jimmy Butler's gonna win an MVP. Finals MVP, no.
Just let me have that love. Like
I'll give it to you. But I'm saying the reason is he's solid, but he's not gonna be the reason that they win.
Bam. It's gonna either be
Bam or
Bam. Tyler.
Could be Bam or Tyler.
So I was trying to figure this out. Is Bam and OG, are they related? Are they brothers?
OG and Anunoby?
Yeah.
No,
it's the same last name.
No,
I thought it was the same last name.
No, Adebayo is Bam.
Oh, I can't read. I'm sorry, people.
OG Anunoby.
Hey, anyways, let's go over to the NFL after I just made one of the most embarrassing mistakes in sports history. This weekend was interesting, man. This was an interesting week that we had going on in the NFL. I mean, on Sunday, yesterday, the Falcons, the Bills, the Seahawks.
Not Seahawks.
Yeah, the Seahawks blew a big lead.
Seahawks won the game.
Yeah, so did the Bills.
You're just saying blew a big lead. So it sounded like you're saying like.
No, I was about to get into that. Then you cut me off. Go ahead. So I said on Sunday, the Falcons, the Bills, and the Seahawks all blew big leads, but only one of those teams lost the game. See, now if I finish that makes sense.
Yes, I got it.
Yep. Dude, the Falcons are what the heck?
Falcons are bad.
They're bad and then they're not. It's like they're choke artists. Like, is Dan Quinn? Yeah. Dan Quinn should be fired. I mean, all I can think of is 28-3 whenever I think about like the Falcons. Like Tom Brady already carved them up, and then we wait 2 years later and they're blowing huge leads. And I mean, of course, like the Bears like bench Mitch Trubisky and then put in Nick Foles. And as soon as I saw like when Foles came in, I was like, here comes the comeback. Greatest backup quarterback of all time.
Yeah. I saw it coming. I think I have a lot of friends that are Bears fans, and even like they saw it coming. Like one of my friends' name on his fantasy football team name is literally Foles by week 5. It happened week 3. Here we are. But yeah, like the Bills, I think Josh Allen is, if I had to pick right now, he would be in the top 3 for MVP.
I think he's the number 1 fantasy quarterback.
He is.
Yeah, I was like, he has to be.
I mean,
Russ has to be.
No. Russ is number one.
Russ is one. I like Josh Allen a little bit better. We'll get into that a little bit later. Talk about why Abe sucks at fantasy football. But digressing back, let's talk a little bit about Mitch Trubisky and Nick Foles. So do you think this is the end of the Trubisky era? I mean, I'm saying this, I feel like such a hypocrite even talking about this. Like, I'm literally decked out in green and gold today. I'm a Packers fan. I'm diehard as diehard gets. What do you think? Do you think that if Nick Foles struggles, will they go back to Trubisky? Or are they going to stick with Foles this entire time?
It doesn't make sense to go back to Trubisky in my mind. Either they need to change the offense. Mitch Trubisky is not a pocket passer. Let's just get that out of the way. He's not a guy. He's not Aaron Rodgers. He's not Russ. He's not Drew Brees. They need to stop trying to make him that. And it just –
he can't hit anybody within 5 yards. He is one of the best wide receivers in the NFL right now, Allen Robinson. And, Allen Robinson will be running the perfect route, and the ball goes 5 yards the other way.
They're trying to force him into a role that he can't fill. And this is why we saw it, right? If he hits his targets, Nick Foles hit his targets. He didn't have a ton of yards, but he had 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, no, I mean, all you have to do is make these quarterbacks facilitators. Look at forever the Niners wanted Alex Smith to be this pocket passer, throwing these big things, and then he freaking goes to Kansas City. I mean, I go like that because I have the NFL game on right there. Kansas City, and he becomes still a pocket passer, but like a game facilitator. Yeah. They have the running back. Iowa State, David Montgomery is a back that could carry the load for them. Mm-hmm. I mean, he's not getting the yards right now, but I think if you just keep ramming it enough, it'll make it big. But they lost a very big part of their passing game. I mean, Tariq Cohen is a running back. He doesn't get a lot of carries, but he's probably one of the better receiving backs in the NFL, and he's done for the season, maybe forever. I mean, ACLs are hard to come back from. Mm-hmm. It's definitely going to be interesting. The Bears are still 3-0.
The Bears have a good team. Like Zach Miller, they're good. Anthony Miller. That's so weird. I never noticed that. Anthony Miller and Zach Miller.
Got Allen Robinson. Their offensive line is pretty. And
they have
together.
a good defense.
They have a really good defense.
I don't understand why the Bears are bad.
I mean, they're not bad. They're 3-0. I mean, you can't say they're bad. I think it's more you're having this question at quarterback, and they're undefeated.
I think Nick Foles is good. I've always thought Nick Foles is good. He sucked last year.
He broke his collarbone.
Yeah, but even before that, he wasn't great, right?
No, he wasn't great. Then the Mississippi mustache came out of nowhere. I mean, if Foles never got hurt, we wouldn't have the gloriousness of Gardner Minshew the second. The second, remember that.
That's. I mean, it is what it is. We'll see how they play going forward, and if Nick Foles. I mean, I don't. It's not that I want to see the Bears win, but it's just sad to constantly watch them lose.
Yeah, I mean, it's the Bears, it's the Lions, and it's the Vikings. I mean, what can you do? The team that runs the North is Green Bay. They gave up the title a couple years ago, and then they took it back last year. Yeah. But it's worst 13-3 team ever. Well, you're the bad man. Aaron Rodgers is back, and I guarantee that. He looked great last night. He looked great against the Lions. And I mean, this New Orleans secondary wasn't like the Lions or Minnesota that's beat up and hurt. I mean, he looked good, and he didn't have Devontae. No, another Iowa State guy. He was throwing bombs to Alan Lazard, the Lizard Man. He hit Mercedes Lewis, the 36-year-old tight end, for a touchdown. I mean, and I think the big thing is, we said when we were in our pre-meeting, Aaron's arm's not hurting him. Yeah. And he has a running back. He's never had a true running back in his entire career. I mean, he now has a guy who can carry the ball 22 times a game, get almost 100 yards or even over 100 yards. And then you have Jamal Williams, who comes out of the back and can just run the ball down the middle if you need to. And I think the best thing, digressing a little bit, to Aaron Jones is he can run the ball, you can catch the ball, and he'll block the ball for you. The kid does it all.
Yeah.
What was your favorite? Like, instead of like me like humping the Packers like I do, but what was your favorite game this week?
I will say I love watching the Seahawks just because I love watching Russ.
Let's talk about that because I have a hot take that we didn't put in there.
Right,
What the F is DK Metcalf doing?
Making rookie mistakes.
Not a rookie. He's second year.
Making rookie mistakes in his second year.
In his second year. I mean, Juju did that earlier in the day. Mm-hmm. He caught a touchdown and like slowly walked in. Nobody was around. Mm-hmm. You run that ball till you pass in some.
Yeah.
I mean,
you either have to have really broken away, like, you know, you hit like the safeties like on the other side, and then your cornerback falls or whatever, and then you're like literally just cruising in. Or if anyone's close, you can't be doing that shit.
If I was a Seahawks fan, I would have lost my shit. If I was Russell Westbrook, Russell Wilson, those RWs throw me off. Sorry. But Mr. Wilson, dude, he could have had 6 touchdowns. He had 5. The crazy thing is he has 14 touchdowns already.
3 games.
Going in 3 games. I mean, he's probably the best deep ball quarterback in the NFL right now. Like he just
also has really good
bombs.
He has really good receivers. He threw, like, I think week 1 he threw touchdowns to like 5 different receivers.
Yeah, he did. And like like Tyler Lockett, DK Metcalf. I mean, they're absolutely Metcalf is out of this world special. And then he's got a Hall of Famer tight end.
Metcalf. The only thing about Metcalf is like his ability relies fully on just running a streak. Like
he can't run around
a straight line and then just catches it, which isn't a bad thing. It's apparently working very well because, you know, he potentially had 2 touchdowns last game. He still scored.
I still can't believe. I saw that and I'm like, that's a touchback. Like if I wouldn't have thrown the ball to him anymore. Like that was, but that game was a good game. Like they blew the lead. Mm-hmm. Dallas came back. Oh man, as much as I hate this, like Dak is not the $25 million quarterback that Dak is. Like he thinks he is. I don't think he really he's talented. I mean, but he's kind of pulling stuff out of his butt. He's got good receivers, and he has this Kedrick Wilson, who's caught less than 50 yards. 55 yards in his career, comes out and has a career day. So I'm happy for that. I love seeing these underdog guys, these guys we've never heard of, where you're like looking it up on your phone and going, who's this? I'm sitting there like with fantasy, I have CD Lamb. I'm like, where is CD? Like, why is he not catching these? Why is this kid I've never heard of getting all these fantasy points? And I keep talking about fantasy because that's the thing.
When we're talking about the Cowboys, like, you know, they have Amari Cooper, Michael Gallup.
Yeah, he had
now CD Lamb, like. And they have who's there? Darren Schultz or something like that.
Yeah, Darren Schultz. Yeah, they have him at tight end.
It just like it's a good team, and they have Zeke
and they have probably one of the best offensive lines. Zeke just doesn't. Zeke had multiple. I think he had like 3 passes thrown to him in that game where he literally couldn't catch it. Yeah. Like, and they were just little swing passes, and he just dropped it. His head wasn't in that game. I don't know what was going on. And out of any of the teams to watch, it is so weird watching Seattle with no fans.
Yeah.
And I hate to say that. I don't like Seattle at all. Green Bay and Seattle have plenty of history.
Yeah.
But it is weird to see that place empty because that place rocks. That is a loud stadium on game day. My game of the week that I loved personally was Bills, Rams. I'm Josh Allen all the way, all day. University of Wyoming. That brother can play some football. I mean, he finished the game 24-33 with 311 passing yards, 4 touchdown passes, and a rushing touchdown. He did throw a pick, but the guy was a stud. Yeah. And that pass at the end to Croft, that little 3-yard thing, was a beauty. It was a beauty.
Yeah, and I think Jared Goff is also underappreciated, honestly.
Goff was good. He had 321 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception.
I saw this will make you happy. I saw a thing. I don't know if it was QBR or just passer rating. Aaron Rodgers is at the top of that. He's at like 95
all time,
just for this season.
Oh, for this season, okay.
95, and then Russ is 2, and then Jared Goff is 3rd, which is impressive. That's pretty good company. Aaron Rodgers, Russell Russell Wilson. I almost said Westbrook, and then Jared Goff.
He brought it. Going into the half, they were down 28-3, and Goff brought them back. I mean, they had 29 unanswered points.
Yeah.
That's it. I love those kind of games. We're seeing a lot of these big comebacks. I don't know if that has to deal with COVID and that kind of stuff, or is it just these kids are gamers right now? I think we've seen a lot of good football. I don't think we've seen too much of the non-contact that I was worried about.
Yeah.
I mean, every game I've watched has been pretty exciting. We only had one blowout this week.
Yeah. I mean,
football is exciting. Colts. I mean, football is exciting. I think college football. I think once we get more into like week 4, week 5, we'll see better tackling. You can definitely tell the schools that didn't tackle at all. But going into this, in professional sports, how do you have a tie? I understand we have this in football, and we're not talking the EPL or soccer. This is the NFL. We are tying. 23-23, Cincinnati, Philadelphia. This is the second time that they've done this in their head-to-head series, by the way.
Oh, really?
Funny. Yeah, they've done it before. I don't like a tie at all. Wentz came out and said tying is no fun. It's an awkward way to end the game. What did Burrow say? Burrow said this to me is a loss. We didn't win. That's all it is to me. If you don't win, you lose. That's the mindset. And I agree. This game. This is $1 million game. This is a lot of money on the line. Even betting, pick'ems, anything. Like I lost pick'ems. I do 2 pick'em things, and this screwed me.
Yeah, it is weird that you can tie it. Like, who was it? Culpepper, or was it who was it? Like that didn't know you could tie at the end of the game. Dante Culpepper, right? Like he just didn't know, because at that time, like. I think back then you couldn't, like, it didn't happen as often.
No, because they had the rule where you just would kick the field goal. And then they came into the rule, like, if you kick a field goal, the other team gets another possession. They need to go to the college way. Like, do it on the 25-yard line and let them just duke it out to whoever, like whoever wins. Go college rules. Go the 25. Or, like, even to make it, like, more for the NFL, start on the 50.
Yeah. Boom, I don't even know why they did this, but... I mean, yeah, he's right. Like what Wentz said, like it is awkward. Like you played that entire time and then you came away with a tie. Like I would rather I lose and know that I lost than be like, oh, I could have won if I had another 5 minutes.
Well, and like the annoying thing about that is if you go like 9-7 or if you go 8-1, you're in. It's actually a win. Like that. Like Burrow says it's a loss. Like I would take it as a loss too. I'd be annoyed with it. But it's actually a win. So that's weird. I mean, Burrow. Did you see that hit? By
oh my! I thought he was. I thought he was done.
Or Malik Jackson. He killed them. And I was like, oh yeah. And I wasn't mad. Like it wasn't in today's NFL. It was a penalty.
Yeah.
I mean, it's football. It's a rough sport. We know the consequences of what it is. And I think these young men know what they're getting themselves into at the same time. But that was. I thought he killed them. I was like, holy crap.
It was definitely not a. It was definitely not a regular hit. Like I saw his like neck, like when you see it in slow motion, it like snaps. I was like,
whiplash.
But he got up and like he was good.
Big Dick Joe though, he's playing some big dick football. I love that. I will always call him Big Dick Joe. You saw that right when LSU? I mean, he had it on his hat. He had 312 passing yards. He had 2 touchdown passes. What do you think about Wentz? Is Wentz out? And I know Doug Peterson came out and said Wentz is gonna be their quarterback, but he is terrible. And this is from a kid where we called like he was a quarterback of the future out of like all these young guys, out of like the Lamar Jacksons, of the Pat Mahomes. Like he was the standard, and now he's like.
Yeah,
he's a top 30 top 30. Like that's terrible. He's in like the top 25 quarterbacks, like in the bottom 20, bottom 30. What are I'm trying to say?
I think not playing full seasons takes a toll on quarterbacks.
He can't stay healthy.
Yeah, he can't stay healthy, and it sucks. Like I think he has it in him, but
I definitely think so too. But he can't play the way he wants to play. He's an Andrew Luck type quarterback, and look what happened to Andrew Luck. And Andrew Luck's not in the league anymore. I don't think that Philadelphia will give up on Wentz just yet because he got them to the playoffs. Nick Foles won them a Super Bowl, but he has got them. He has got them wins. He has got them, found them success. I would love to see Jalen Hurts play. I love Jalen Hurts at Alabama. I love Jalen Hurts at Oklahoma. That will be fun if that time comes. You can kind of feel like they do have that in the back of their head since they did take Jalen Hurts in the second round. Even when you have a quarterback who is still relatively young, just can't stay healthy. Who was your week 3 MVP? I took Russ. Russell Wilson. Yeah, 315 yards, 5 touchdowns. I don't think anybody can really beat that. He was an absolute stud.
Yep.
And staying with football, but we're going to run over to the fantasy football side of it, which is awesome because y'all don't know, we have a fantasy football league going on. It's called the Federation of the Dunces.
Yeah.
Thank you, Abe, for the great name. It's a bunch of guys that's in the hobby. We threw together a 12-team league. It's PPR with an extra wide receiver. Our bench is a little too cluttered. I think next year we'll definitely cut that down. And just so everybody knows, we are up to play fantasy basketball, fantasy baseball. We'll do a Just Mitchin league in those two as well. So if you want to be part of that, just hit us up. I'll set up the league. Abe will deal with the money. But we're all down. We love to compete. And our leagues are cheap. We do $5 leagues. I was definitely thinking if like this becomes it would be fun if this becomes like what are those leagues that just keep on going that are like 10 years? Like, it'd be fun to have a trophy and like send it to the next person. But then I thought about shipping. If I ever became like rich or this blew up, like if we had a trophy, I would literally fly it to like the next person. That'd be so funny.
That'd be so cool.
Especially like my crazy ass showing up. But who do you think the best player in fantasy was this week?
Well, depending on, so this is hard, right? Like you always have to pick the player with the most points. Right, AK. Like it's got to be Alvin Kamara, but
44 points, and he didn't do it rushing. It's all receiving.
Yeah, and that I think that's definitely an outlier because Michael Thomas should be coming back this week.
I traded him.
Michael Thomas, I saw it. I tried to veto your vote or your trade.
I overrode it. I'm the commissioner. You're second commissioner. I'm president. You're baby president.
Yeah, but everybody should vote. I think you got screwed on the vote.
I love this trade. I love this. Like Michael Thomas, it's a high ankle sprain. He's not coming back. Like he's not gonna. I don't think he's gonna be like super great. Like it's something you have to like deal with for a while. Look at Devontae Adams. He hurt his foot last year and he was struggling with it. I got Keenan Allen out of that. I love Keenan Allen.
You love Keenan Allen now that Justin Herbert's the quarterback and
that Justin Herbert's the quarterback because that kid is throwing bombs.
Yeah. Well, we didn't. You know what we didn't talk about?
What?
The Chargers medical staff punctured Tyrod Taylor's lung.
That's a lawsuit because Tyrod Taylor, he's not gonna. I feel bad for him because he keeps like almost getting these like starts and like something always happens to him. That doctor's going to be fired. I think you have to get him out of the locker room, which is hard, like in the middle of the season, especially during COVID.
Yeah.
He's got to go because players aren't going to trust him.
No.
I mean, it's an easy shot into the ribs, and he punctured his lung. Like he's going to be out for 4 or 5 weeks.
Yeah.
And I don't think when he comes back, he's going to
start.
His job
back. No.
Like Herbert's showing that. He's got the potential to be an NFL starting quarterback. He's going out there. He's gunslinging. He's doing what he needs to do. I really like Justin Herbert. I loved him at Oregon. Mm-hmm. I think he'll be a good NFL player. But
it doesn't make sense for the Chargers to take him out because they're
winning.
Like, Tyrod's good, and they're winning. Well, they lost. But they did. But
they lost. But they beat the Chiefs.
Yeah, no. The Chiefs.
No, the
went
Chiefs
to
won?
overtime.
Went to overtime and they lost.
But that was the game. That was his first game. Yeah.
Yeah, that was his first game. He competed. If people don't realize, I forget shit really easily.
But he's also the younger quarterback. They drafted him for a reason. Tyrod's there because he's a vet.
They wanted Tyrod to play this entire year and Justin to sit back and learn from him. They didn't want Herbert to play at all. But That's what happens. Shit happens. My biggest surprise of the week was Kedrick Wilson, 27.7 points, 5 receptions, 107 yards, 2 touchdowns. Who is your big one?
I went with James Robinson, solely because
traded for him.
This is why I'm saying. So I wanted to veto it because you were getting him, and I was like, this is the Jags. I can't see a Jags running back like being good. And
I mean, he only had 45 yards or something like that, but he had 2 touchdowns.
He had 83 yards receiving.
83 yards receiving.
83, that's insane.
Yeah, it's going to be great. I mean, the Mississippi Mesh just has now somebody he can just throw to because Leonard Fournette can't catch a pass. He doesn't know. He's like, football. My biggest disappointment of the week was Julian Edelman. He was projected to have 14.8 points. It ended up having 4.2. Edelman's usually a consistent guy in fantasy. He's going to get you 10 points. I think 14 was a little shooting high for him, but to get 4 points in like the game Cam Newton had, I don't think Edelman's going to be the guy there really anymore. He's not connecting with Cam. He's a Tom Brady guy, and Cam's playing good football. And who is your disappointment? We didn't talk about Gronkowski.
Yeah, let's just leave that one alone. But yeah, I also went with Edelman. I had him on my FanDuel as a run it back from last week because he had 178 yards receiving last week, and it was a high scoring game. Same thing, Cam was throwing a lot, and he still he just sucks. Yeah, but they did say that he had a knee injury.
Again?
He was questionable last week. For this week, I mean.
Okay, I mean, then if he's hurt, he's hurt. I mean,
I think Julian Edelman has been questionable every game for the past 3 years. I don't think he's ever. I feel like
he's always hurt.
Yeah, he's always hurt.
So I'm looking at the standings right now of our league. I'm going 2-1 after today. I won. Abe, you're 0-3, and the best thing about this, why I'm making a big deal, is Abe was talking a bunch of crap during the draft and text messages that he is going to be whooping up. I mean, he put up 120. He put up 129 points this week, but Jerry put up 196.
Yeah. If you look at how you can check how many points against.
No, that was the week before. This week,
that was last week.
Yeah, Gary, you didn't even hit 100 points this week, bro.
I keep forgetting to set the lineup. I have AJ Brown in there and he's out.
You're an idiot.
And I put in Minshew after he has 2 games in a row with 20 points and then he scores 9.
I'm looking. You have Gardner Minshew, Nick Chubbs, Kenyon Drake, AJ Brown is hurt, Jarvis Landry. Jarvis Landry. I can't pronounce. You got Hollywood Brown, Schultz, James Conner, who's actually, we were talking about that. A lot of people don't like him, don't use him as much as they should. And you got the Bears D and Butker. I mean,
on paper, my team is good.
Your bench is terrible. I mean, you have terrible. 3 players. You have 2 open spots, but I mean, Michael Pittman Jr. He's out. Noah Fant. Noah Fant. I don't know. Still
Noah Fant without Drew Lock.
It's screwed. The team is so bad. I don't know. I mean, my team's a horse. But anyways, guys, we are towards the end of our first episode ever. Not ever, but first episode live. It was fun. How'd you feel about it?
Yeah, it's a lot more fun than it is. A lot of work. I'm a little nervous throughout the entire thing. Just because it's live. But
did we get any questions or anything? Did anybody watch?
I didn't even look. I have no idea.
He's supposed to be the tech guy and he forgets everything. I have to remind him that we have episodes, or he forgets because he's so busy with life, and I'm just sitting here waiting for the next time I can record something.
Yeah, no, I don't know. It doesn't tell me if anyone watched. There's no questions though.
No questions. Well, everybody, when you watch this, thank you so much. We really appreciate it. If it's 1 or 2 people, we don't care. We do this for our own enjoyment. We enjoy talking sports. We enjoy talking to each other. But wrap it up, you can find us on Just Mitchin at on Twitter. What are we on Instagram now? Just
Mitchin Pod.
And we're gonna be switching our Instagram and moving around. We're gonna start being more active on there. We're gonna be more active on Twitter. We're gonna not Twitter. We're pretty active on Twitter, on TikTok. So on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter, you'll be seeing more clips that are just cut from the show, hot takes, silly moments. Like kind of like the one when we had with Lane Adams, where I was like, this is such a good video. That was funny. We did a giveaway for that. So you got to pay attention because we do give away a lot of stuff. And we don't do that because we want fans. We just are two guys that have abundance of random cards that we don't collect. And just there's not a place for us. So we give them to people that will appreciate it. But anyways, thank you so much for watching Just Mitchin. And everybody, have a great week. And we will see you on Thursday. We'll record Wednesday, see you on Thursday, and we'll be live on Friday. Get me out of here.